Hi guys, I am going to attempt to do a review comparison type deal between, goodness, I'm trying to get that where you can see it, the Crayola Blend and Shade, which I've already swatched out on this paper, with the regular Crayola pencils. And I can't show you the tin of the Blend and Shade because I already pulled the regular Crayolas out and put them in the top lid. And so, like, that's the red in comparison to that red. And I'm doing this sideways, so that could take a while. I was going to go through and swatch them all, but really that's kind of a waste of time because it's all the same colors. I had to robin's egg blue and I think it was mahogany. I had to get different colors for. Let's see, I'm trying to find the one that I swapped out okay. So the regular Crayola pencils didn't have a robin's egg blue and they had an aqua green. And so that was the closest match I could come up with on that. And I think that's a pretty good match for comparison's sake. And then the mahogany was, I believe it was brick red. Let's see, I put that right there. And da-da-da. This one's slightly more pink than the Crayola Blend and Shade, but it's still a pretty close match. And oh, this one was the farthest off, and that is the goldenrod one. And it's like a cross between the golden yellow and the mango. So I went with the golden yellow because it was the one that the core was the closest on, and it's just slightly more yellow, but it'll be close enough for this. Okay, so I grabbed a book to practice some blending and shading and compare them. And this is just Creative Sensations by Zendoodle Coloring. I was originally going to do this page, but I've decided to go, well, just kidding. Okay, I've decided to do this one instead for the purpose of this video. And I'm going to grab the red and the I'm going to grab the red and the orange for now. Make sure that's not what I grabbed. There. And I'm trying to grab it in both pencils, so that's fun. Okay. I hope I'm not making too much racket on this. So my red, as you can see, is a little on the short side because it had a broken core. So I rolled that up in a heating blanket and fixed that, and yeah, hopefully it holds up. So I'm just going to do this one with the Blend and Shade. As far as colors, like as you could see on the swatches, you can pretty well come up with identical colors for all of them. On the Blend and Shade, I just have a 24 pack, where the regular Crayolas, I had the 100 pack. So I don't know if the colors that I was, trying to come up with matches, if those were discontinued colors or if it just differed because they were different types. I don't know. Goodness, I should have picked like a third one, but hey, this is showing some layering anyway. I'm gonna try to use the same amount of pressure with both of them. As you can see, the lighter I get, the lighter the shade gets. I am going to do red in the regular Crayola in the line next to this. So I'm trying to bring down my heavy pressure to lightest a little bit longer on this one so that they'll be side by side in the other one. Obviously these won't be perfect because there's always room for human error, but there is the blend and shade one on that part. This is the regular Crayola, and I am not pushing any harder than I was with the blend and shade. And on light pressure, it does fade out much, much quicker. It gets lighter a lot faster. I guess the blend and shade must lay down a bit more color without as much pressure, because that one really did it pretty fast. But I did a second layer on the other one, so I will on this one also. I will say, as far as difference in price, the blend and shade is more than double in price. So, like, when I looked it up tonight, the blend and shades were like almost $10. That's the blend and shade. And then the regular Crayolas were $4 for the same size package. So that's those two. And now I'm going to try blending in the oranges with it. And I do agree there is definitely a difference in softness. The blend and shades are definitely a little bit softer. But as far as pigmented, I feel like they're about the same. Like, if you put down the darkest that you possibly can of the blend and shade, it'll be the same as the darkest with the regular Crayola. However, it's not going to be as hard on your hand because you can do, I think, layers with the blend and shade that without exerting as much pressure, but at least that's what I've heard. But from what I can tell today, it feels like it's smoother to color with, like not as scratchy, I guess. I mean, Crayolas don't feel super scratchy anyway, but it feels like I'm pushing just as hard with the blend and shade as these. There's just a different feel on the paper with them. And I don't know how to describe that different feel other than it feels maybe smoother with the blend and shade when you're laying those colors down than it does with the standard Crayola. And that is what they look like. This is the regular Crayola, and that is the blend and shade. And of course it's only with one color, but I probably won't have to do a whole bunch of them. I am going to do a few others, obviously, to see if there's a difference when you change hues. So I'm going to go with the red orange and whatever color this is, the yellow orange. And let's see, this is the red orange. Okay, that's something else I should have pointed out with the sheet because I forgot all about it. There were a few colors that looked really, really similar in the 24 count. This would be one of them, the yellow orange and the orange. So I'll show that on the page. But yeah, this is definitely the yellow orange. And actually this one I feel like I think that's slightly more pigmented than the one on the Blend and Shade in the yellow and orange. But I forgot about that, or I wouldn't have shown that, blended that color. But this is the orange and the yellow orange, and that's the red and the red orange. And this is slightly more purple than this. This is slightly lighter than that, but not a lot. And I wish there would have been more of a difference for the 24 pack. And then the only other one that was, this is probably the closest to the other one, and that's the light blue and the blue. But there's still more difference in that than there is, like the orange and yellow orange are basically the same color. So there's that. So I'm going to put those away and grab a yellow and a yellow green. Okay. So hopefully we'll be able to see more of a difference with this. I'll go in and finish that triangle up later. Forgot what I was doing. Okay, so we'll start on this side with the Blend and Shade. This one has a broken lead. Which I've already repaired the red one and one other one, but I don't remember what it was right now. With the heating pad for a few minutes rolled up in there, and that worked well. So I'll just have to do that with that one, since I already know that that works pretty well. So I don't really think I need to go through all of these colors because it's going to be the same thing over and over. I'll try to hit the blues, purples, and maybe the skin tones. And then I'll go over the lightest parts, like the middles, with a white, or maybe the edge. I don't know yet. We'll wing that. So it does blend really well. As you can see, it does make a gradient really well. But really, I'm pushing just as hard with both. So I just don't see enough of a difference between the two. Aside from the aesthetics, like they are pretty. They're a black pencil with, the color on the tip to make them look more, I guess, grown up. But as far as the way they color, there's not enough of a difference there to be worth the difference in price, in my opinion. Let me see what other colors I'm gonna try to do. Maybe a robin's egg and a pink. What is this color? Okay, robin's egg and magenta it is then. Possibly. And there was also, I'm trying to roll my pencils. I know this seems like I'm not doing it. This is the one. Before I do that, this sky blue pencil, they put the color up here instead of down here. So when I sharpen this, I'm not going to be able to see what it is. All the rest of them, they put the color down on this end. So that is the only one that was like that. So I'm sure it was some kind of quality control issue. I don't know. And what tray does that go in? This one. Okay. Oh, I'm still missing a pencil. I distracted myself thinking about that color name situation. Yeah, that's it. So we have magenta in that, and robin's egg blue in this one, and aqua green in that one. I meant to move this to a different triangle, but that didn't happen. And the regular Crayolas, while they don't feel quite as soft as the other ones, that's just weird for me to try to explain. But the cores on the blended shades, I feel like they're gonna wear down a lot quicker, but that could just be me thinking that they should, because they feel softer and like they should wear down a lot quicker. But then they don't put down any more pigment for the amount of pressure that you apply. Now this magenta has been a lot brighter with less of a lay down. However, it's not working well with the robin's egg, so we'll see how this one does down here. And I will bring this up closer for you to see in just a minute. Okay. Now this was the Blend and Shade. That's the regular Crayola. This is the Blend and Shade, and that's the regular Crayola. Now this clearly was smoother on the transition from the dark to the light than this was. And it's been that way with all the Crayolas. So the regular Crayola, I have a more solid line break when trying to blend it with the same pressure that I'm using with the blend and shade, and it does not have that dark line. And however, on the blend and shade, it looks like, trying to get it where it's not glaring, like there's some separation in the where the magenta was going over the top of that robin's egg, and in the regular one it didn't have that separation when it was going over the greenish blue. I don't even remember the name of the color anymore. But anyway, there's that. And then we'll put those ones up. And, sorry. I will do a light brown and a peach. Possibly. If I figure out which is what. Peach and light brown. I do not know. And I'm skipping a color in there because there's peach, then tan, and light brown, but we're going from peach to light brown and peach. And since I already messed up on those colors, I'll just go ahead and throw it down in here. So this is the blend and shade with the light brown. And then this is the peach. Now clearly, the blend and shades have to be softer. Just not a lot, but anyway, they have to be softer because they had more broken cores than the regular ones, which I haven't had that problem with, although I did have a couple in the regular Crayolas that were really crumbly. But still, the blend and shades are a bit smoother on this one too. And again, I had the problem with the regular Crayola down here, where it had the darker line, and the blend and shade did not. It was a smoother blend out. So there's that. Let me get the black and white out. Hang on, I put that in the wrong tray. And I had gotten all of the pencils in both lines out because I didn't know what I was going to use or how long this was going to go on. First of all, I'm going to be confused. Yeah, because that works for me. This has to be the blend and shade because it's slightly smoother. So I'm just putting this black on the top part, and I'll leave the rest the way it was. to show like if I was shadowing it. And then this is the regular Crayola, and this was slightly harder to tell because the pencils were black, both of them. Okay, so there's that part. And then the white, where do we want to put this white to dry it? We'll just do it on, we'll just do it up here. As far as whites go, they worked about the same. And I was trying to see if it would blend it or lighten it. You can tell from one end to the next, this is with the white and that's without it. And it did, on the regular Crayola, it definitely helped blend. On the blend and shade, I don't know that it made much of a difference. And then that's the regular Crayola black, and that's the blend and shade black, which it seems like the blend and shade didn't get as dark as the regular Crayola black, but it was a smoother blend, it wasn't as streaky. So you can take all that for what it's worth, make your own decisions, and use what you love. I think I will stick with my regular Crayolas, especially considering the difference in the prices. But everyone has their own favorites. So I will see you all next time.